you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Want to buy, do the things we want to do, and one day retire debt-free. As a member of the social media generation, I live in the present. We are so present that we have a hard time thinking about the future. Don't ask me what I want for dinner tomorrow. That's a future me problem. And this applies to our finances as well. Future me will deal with it. Where's this all coming from? It's coming from us. We feel the world owes us something. We feel entitled. We want our ego to be stroked. We want the good things in life, and we want them now. Instant gratification. As part of the social media generation, I grew up with smartphones and social media. My friends and I would rather send text messages and videos than meet up in person. Phone calls? Pfft, not our thing. We use social media to let others know what's happening in our lives. Hey, did you see that on my Instagram story? Is what we commonly ask our friends. And we only show the world the best of our best. We are a generation that's motivated by likes, comments, views, and shares. What other people think about us is so important. Sometimes we forget that social media also shows the best of other people's lives. And when we see what they have, we say, "Ooh, I want one of those." A few months ago, I saw a TikTok video where someone used an air fryer to make some healthy fried chicken. Come on, healthy fried chicken? How could I say no to that? I bought an air fryer. It was $100 I didn't need to spend. And when asked about this impulsive purchase, I say, TikTok made me buy it. Our lack of financial literacy is hurting our generation. Run the world? We aren't ready for that yet. The only thing we are running up right now is our credit card debt. We are incurring record levels of debt at high interest rates. Compound interest is working against us. And why are we going into debt? We're buying things we can't afford to impress people we don't even know or even care about. We are setting ourselves up for failure by not understanding how money works. We're making money decisions based on entitlement and ego. Add easy access to credit to this mix, and this is a recipe for disaster. 5 years ago, I made one of the worst financial decisions of my life. I love luxury cars. I remember seeing some breathtaking photos of luxury cars on Instagram. I had to have one. Hey, I deserve it, right? So I sold my fully functioning, paid off, practical car and upgraded to the luxury model, just like the one online. The car cost $65,000. The monthly payments were high, and the depreciation, huge. It was a terrible financial decision at the time. But my friends were impressed. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Look at how cool it is, they said. And I received a lot of likes, comments, views, and shares on social media. I was stoked, and my ego was pumped. The car salesman told me, if we increase your monthly payments from 60 to 84 months, the payments fit your budget. Awesome, I thought. It fits my budget, yes! But I didn't realize that increasing the monthly payments from 60 to 84 months almost doubled the interest that I had to pay. Dinner for the next 84 months was either instant noodles or macaroni and cheese. We need to become financially literate. We need to understand money and how it works. We need to learn how to use credit the right way. And when we do, we'll start making smarter financial choices. In just 10 years, my friends and I of the social media generation will make up 75% of the global workforce. We'll be in charge of running businesses, education and legal system, police and military forces, government, you name it, we'll be running it. But also, in just 10 years, our parents will be passing down massive amounts of wealth to us. And if we don't know how to take care of this wealth, we won't have it for very long. Becoming financially literate is non-negotiable. For the first 27 years of my life, I was not financially literate. It took me a long time to admit this. I am a CPA, a chartered professional accountant. And I incorrectly assumed that I was financially literate. I was always good with my money. I always spent less than I earned. But that didn't mean that I was financially literate. I didn't have financial goals, a budget, a retirement plan, or an emergency fund. And in my professional life, I was busy chasing job titles, promotions, and pay raises. I craved instant gratification. I demanded what I thought I deserved. And if I didn't get what I wanted, I would go find a new job. I saw my peers getting promoted through updates on LinkedIn. I had to keep up with them. And as I moved from job to job, my salary increased. This was great, but it did not improve my financial literacy. In fact, it covered it up. It allowed me to justify spending more because I earned more. One afternoon, I was working remotely, sitting at my kitchen table. I opened my Instagram app. The first picture that popped up was of my friend and his family with their new Tesla Model 3 in front of their new home. Picture perfect. Man, I wanted everything in that photo. Family, new car, beautiful home. This got me thinking about my financial goals. What do I want that I currently don't have? Well, I wanted a fancy new watch. I wanted a new laptop and a new cell phone. And then I realized something. When I saw my friends posting photos of fancy new things, I wanted them too. There was only one way for me to obtain these new things. I needed more money. I just had to find a way to earn more. I thought that the easiest way to earn more money was just to get promoted. And that afternoon, I asked myself one simple question that would change my life forever. If I was offered my boss's job tomorrow, would I take it? If I was offered my boss's job tomorrow, would I take it? In my mind, the answer was an automatic yes, a promotion. Of course, I worked hard. I was entitled to it. More pay? Perfect for my ego and all of the things that I wanted to buy. But that afternoon, to my surprise, my gut reaction said no. No. Immediately, a tsunami of emotions rushed in. Happiness, sadness, confusion, fear, overwhelm. Why was I feeling this way? I broke down and I started to cry. They were tears of sadness. In that moment, I realized that I was living a lie. In that moment, I realized that I was in a vicious cycle of lifestyle creep. When I earned more, I spent more. And in that moment, I realized that material things and money owned me. I wasn't working to fulfill my purpose and passion in life. I was working at a job just for the money. And the money to pay for things, to impress people I don't even know or even care about. I was so focused on the present moment, I didn't even consider my financial future. I was a CPA and not financially literate. How ironic, right? Entitlement, ego, and a lack of financial literacy were ruining my life. Something had to change. I decided to take action. I decided to change my financial life. So I bought every personal finance book and self-help book that I could find. I read them all. I researched how to make a budget, and I put my trusty Excel skills to work. I found mentors and hired coaches to guide me. It wasn't easy, but eventually I became financially literate. Something about me felt different when I became financially literate. I felt free of entitlement, free of craving instant gratification. Over the next 5 years, I paid off my high interest debt. I doubled my savings rate. I built an emergency fund. I invested money for retirement. And in year 5, I bought a modest home. Becoming financially literate changed my life. And I felt my friends and other people change theirs too. Job titles, promotions, and pay raises no longer motivated me. I started my own business. I started fulfilling my life's purpose. Financial literacy is being able to understand money and how it works. It starts with understanding that good debt is debt used to purchase assets. Bad debt is debt used to purchase liabilities. It starts with paying ourselves first. And this means 10% of our income goes into a savings account or investment for the future. It starts with making smarter financial decisions today, regardless of what you see on social media. And this means saying yes to a staycation because your financial goals say that you want to buy a home in 5 years. We, the social media generation, are the future leaders of our world. It's so important that we understand how money works. Becoming financially literate is non-negotiable. Your future is depending on it. Our world's future is depending on it.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. Before we begin, I have to do a special thanks to the Canadian Service Corp and to the Africa Center for sponsoring this event. As most of you were there in the first session, we'll be doing a recap of the game we played in the first session, which is a mock option, and reviewing some of the homework that was given last time. So I'll start off by reviewing what we did last time. Just give me a second to share my screen.
Femi, you're on mute.
Sorry. Thank you all for coming again. Last time we started with a mock auction, and the idea was to teach you that the initial value you think is not always the value. For those who joined last time, you guys remember you greatly overspent what your items were actually worth. You can see right over here, Team 2, they purchased items that were around 7K, that were worth 7K, but spent over 15K on them. Team 1 purchased items that were less than $5,000, but spent almost 25K on their items. And this is because of something called This is because of a value gap. You thought something was worth more because you felt pressured or you thought it was a competition. You saw other people buying things, so you decided to buy things. This caused everybody to overpay the true market price of their items. For Team One, they spent almost 20K over budget. Their biggest mistake was buying the S&P 500 shares, which they assumed was worth a lot more than it was. But you guys have to remember, we didn't say you couldn't search it. You're able to do research for all of your items because everybody was just thinking about winning or outbidding others, people forgot to do their research and really think about what something was worth. But every team did make at least one smart move. Team one bought a scooter at a lower price than it was actually worth. Team two bought the Mega Watch at a profit, meaning they bought it at less than it was actually worth. Team three bought the Banksy print, the painting that was shown, at the actual price. And Team four bought the Lego Death Star at the actual price. So as you can see, everybody made some good decisions, also some really bad decisions, spending 20K over what the items were worth. This is due to something called hype factor. Because everybody was excited, I saw a lot of you just bidding for the sake of bidding. You were bidding because other teams were bidding and you didn't want them to beat you. And this kind of causes you to overspend and spiral because you're more thinking about it as, let me win, I want all the items, what the items are actually worth, and whether they can make you a profit. So what this was supposed to teach us is that spending has to be intentional. Check the market value. Again, all of you had the opportunity to search things. We never said you couldn't search it, but you chose not to because you were more interested in playing the games. And while it made it fun, it didn't exactly make the best financial sense. Number two, make sure you have a hard budget. If you are only willing to pay 10K for something, don't pay more than 10K no matter what anybody else is bidding, because you know that you need money for other things. Number three, don't just spend time bidding because other people are bidding. I know it can be fun to try to beat others or win the game, but in real life, that can actually cause you to overspend much more than you have. You really need to stop and think about whether what you're doing is worth it. And number four, winning at a bad price does not mean you won. You actually lost. So I know everybody was excited when they got something when they outbid the others, but when you spend 23K on something that's worth 3K, you don't actually win. You lost because you overpaid and spent your money while the others still have money. And lesson five, when you spend money, you need to think about what you spent afterwards. Every time you spend in real life and in the game, it was a chance to think about and level up your money skills. That's our recap for the last time. So I'll be moving on to what we're going to do today. And it's based on homework we got from the last time, but don't worry if you weren't there. I'll be doing a quick recap so you guys can make your decisions. So our game will be choosing your 1 million business venture and why. If you were given $1 million, which one of these businesses will you invest in? Right now, for simplicity, I'll be giving you 4 options. But before we begin that, does anybody have questions about this slideshow that I just saw? If you have questions, you can write them in the chat or raise your hand. Or any comments about what they learned from last time.
I wasn't here for the slideshow, so like, what was it about?
No, this slideshow is an overview of what we did last time. Do you remember the mock auction where you guys bid on stuff?
Oh yeah.
Like, do you have anything to say? Like, what did you learn from it? Do you have any questions?
No, I was just asking. That's it.
Okay. Well, if nobody has any questions, I'm just gonna pick someone to tell me something that they learned or found interesting. Let's go with Sophia. Sophia, you can just unmute and tell us what you learned from the mock auction last week or something that you found interesting about it.
Thanks, Remy. I think one thing that I took specifically from the auction is how important it is to spend money on appreciating items instead of depreciating items. And I think it was only then that I truly realized like what depreciating and appreciating my items really are. So yeah, that's one thing I took. Thank you.
Yeah, that is really important because sometimes you buy something and you didn't necessarily overspend on it, but it also didn't really benefit you. Some items are one-time use and some items lose value. Buying things that gain value and bring you a profit is actually really important when you're spending your money. Does anybody else have anything to contribute based on like what they learned? Anyone? If not, we're just going to continue. Okay, give me a second. Back to our activity for today. So I'll be giving you four options of a business venture. You can follow with me on screen, and you guys can pick and choose which one which one you would invest in if you had $1 million, and then we'll discuss why. So our first option is a car wash, which is a form of passive income. The car washes are usually automated. They don't really require employees and you don't really have to talk to anybody to pay. You can use the machines. So if you own a car wash, it's a form of passive income. You don't have to be there, but you're still bringing in money every single month because people need to wash their cars. It's a consistent thing. And in the real world, if you have a car wash in a good area, which is important for making money, having a car wash in a good area with a lot of vehicle traffic is important. You can generate between 30 to 50K monthly with membership programs and is a predictable reoccurring revenue. If you were to you if you were to take this business, you could spend your $1 million in buying the land, buying the washing equipment, paying the water bills, and marketing so that people know that you're there and that they can use your car wash. If you put yourself in a good area, car washes can service 2 to 300 vehicles daily, generating monthly revenue with very little labor cost as you don't need staff. Business two is an accounting firm. This one is actually the most intensive one. It requires you to do the most work and spend the most time getting things done, but it can be one of the biggest money makers. You would first need to spend time like setting up, so investing in an office space, hiring experienced bookkeepers, getting accounting softwares and being certified. And you would also have to build relationships with businesses so that they would come to you for accounting, as well as making sure that you provide services that make people need to come back, such as helping during tax season, which happens every year, and people need help on their taxes, so they come back to you. This builds long-term customers who come back to you year after year. This business works. This business works because accounting is a really big industry. People always need help managing their money. And during tax season, where it's very important, it actually drives more people to you every single year. In this business, you would spend your money on an office, hiring people, your platforms, marketing, and bookkeeping and payroll for all your employees. Unlike the car wash, this one actually requires a lot more physical work and um, communication skills as you would need to talk to your clients, but it could triple, double, triple double or triple your revenue during tax season as people rush in to get things done. Our third option is a self-storage facility. I think we all know what that is. It's like you basically buy like a little room with a little garage-like room and you store things in them. People usually do it when they're like moving or going to college. And this one would actually be our most low maintenance business. It doesn't really require you to do anything once you've set it up because you don't need to be there. People can open the doors by themselves and store their stuff. It doesn't really require employees either. And if you have security cameras, you don't really need to worry about protecting your business. It's also a consistent business because people are always moving houses, going to college, or needing to store things because of different situations in life. In this business, your money would be spent on buying the land in a good area, constructing the storage units in different sizes because some people need more storage than others, and having a security system that would protect you and your customers' products, as well as marketing yourself to the neighborhood. It also doesn't require any employees most of the time because once people have purchased their storage container or rented it, they can access it by themselves without any help from you or an employee. These places work mostly on autopilot. Fourth and last business option is an HVAC company. For those who don't know what an HVAC is, it's like your AC, your heating, it's your heating and cooling system. And this is a recession-proof business. That means that no matter the economy, even if the economy is really bad, this is a business that's still necessary and one that will probably thrive regardless because heating and cooling is a necessity. No matter where you live, whether you live in a cold climate or a warm climate, your house needs to be heated and cooled. And when it's broken, it's one of the first things people fix because it gets really, really uncomfortable when your house doesn't have the proper heating and cooling. It's also a business that allows you to have multiple income sources because you could get money from installing the ACs. You can get money from repairing. You can get money from selling, and you can also get money from maintaining them. Meaning that like even from one single client, you can get money multiple times from them because they would need maintenance. They would need to install it. They would need to repair it eventually. But it's something that requires you to find skilled workers is as this is something that not just anybody can do. And they would also need people to continue their training as technology updates every year. This is also a business that allows you to retain customers, as I've said, as people need to maintain their ACs and their heatings and their heating systems, but is very predictable because you know what season people will need what. In this business, you would spend your money on the equipment, service vehicles, licensing, hiring technicians, and parts that you would use to help fix people's equipment. And this business is also one that you can use in residential and commercial areas, as every single building needs some type of heating and cooling system. Okay, I'm gonna give you all a minute to pick. Before you pick, make sure you think about what matters most to you when picking a business. Is it income generation? So do you want something that's just consistently giving you money, or do you want something that requires a little bit more work but provides more money? Is it time management? Do you like businesses that don't really require your input but and incur money slowly, or businesses that require a bit more effort but you'll get a larger chunk of money easily? You also need to think about economic resilience. Some some businesses don't thrive during recessions because people are cutting down on spending, and some businesses do because they're necessities regardless of economic states. And lastly, you need to think about the skills required. Some businesses don't really require you to have hands-on skills. Once you set it up, you can kind of leave it alone. But other businesses require you to keep updating your skills and keep working on yourself as you go through the business. So I'm gonna give you all about 1 minute to pick which business you want, and then we're gonna discuss why you picked it. Just as you pick, I'm gonna leave this on screen so you can see like how you can see the statistics of each of the businesses.
All right, everyone. Welcome. Good afternoon once again. And thanks for joining us for this event. So the businesses have been put on screen. Okay. So I'll just call one person, just to talk to us. What do you think about any of these businesses? What jumped out to you? What was the first thing that came to mind? So, David, can you share with us what was the first one that attracted you? What made it attractive? David, can you please unmute and let us know?
Thank you, sir. So can I have like 2 minutes just to rethink?
Oh, sure, you can definitely do that. You can think about it further and then come back to us. Talia, can you speak? What was the first business out of the four? The car wash, accounting, self-storage, HVAC. Which one was
I think the
attractive to you at
first
first?
business that I liked was the car wash one.
The car wash. Okay, can you tell us why? Any reason?
Uh, it makes a lot of money, so
So Talia likes a lot of money. Talia wants a lot of money. That's good. Thank you, Talia, for that feedback. Isabella, can you tell us which one jumped out to you? What did you like about that business? What made it interesting to you? Okay, while we're waiting for Isabella, I'll go to Makela next. Makela, can you share with us?
I think I would do the car wash.
Okay, car wash winning. Car wash, car wash, car wash. Okay, and why is that? Can you tell us?
Probably because like a lot of like people wash their car like almost like every day. So I feel like people would get like more money, like I would get more money off of it, and it doesn't require like a lot of like manual work, because like people would wash the cars, or like the cars would go. I mean, the like the place would kind of just wash the car by itself, and
Okay,
yeah.
thank you very much. Thanks, Makela. Timmy, can you share with us what do you think about this which business from the list? We have the car wash, accounting, self-storage, and the HVAC.
Good afternoon.
Good
I
afternoon.
think the one that stood out to me was the HVAC company because it reminded me of what Femi was saying about having a type of business that's always needed. Like whether you live in a hot or cold climate, you always either need heating or cooling. So that was something that stuck out to me.
All right, thank you. David, do you have something for us now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I would pick the car wash because like the technology is really good, and people, if they have to use less effort, then they would pay more money to not, use their hands to wash their own car. So yeah, that's why I would pick car wash. That's why I would pick the car wash.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for that feedback. Femi, you can proceed now.
Ay, 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 ay.
Okay. Does Isabella have a question? I see your hand up.
yes. I wanted to finish. Sorry, my
Okay,
thing wasn't working. But I
that's
think
fine.
I would choose accounting because I
Okay.
think relationships with clientele along with coworkers improve the business, and it might take a little longer, but it also gives you time to tweak like if there's problems in the business as well.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. T.O. Sorry, who's T.O.? You can unmute and speak, but let us know your full name. All right, T.O., go ahead. T.O., we can't hear you. Uh, you anyone can also type your response or your question in the chat, and we'll definitely get to it and respond. But Tio, we can't hear you. I see your hands up. I see you've unmuted, but we can't hear maybe your mic or something might need a bit of attention. All right. Okay, Tio says I will use the self-storage. So Tio is picking the self-storage option. And Tio, please, if you could send your full name just so we know who is. Oh, is that Toluane? Okay, we'll proceed. So Femi, go ahead.
Thank you. So,
All right.
all of you made decisions based on like your personal preferences, which is important when picking a business. A lot of you chose the car wash because of the convenience and because of the necessity. And a car wash is actually a pretty good answer. All of them are good answers depending on what you're trying to do, but a car wash is a pretty good standard answer because yeah, people consistently need car washes and you don't necessarily have to put consistent effort. The HVAC company is a good one also because again, people always need heating and cooling. Even though you have to put in extra effort, you know that you almost never run out of business because people always need it. And for the accounting, it is a higher risk one, but one that can actually give you the most amount of money out of all these options once you've built your base. So all of you gave like really good answers. Remember, there's no one right single answer. All of them are dependent on your personal goals and what you need. Not everybody is looking for like the most high hitting, most money option. Some people just want a passive income, something that brings them in money consistently, but is not necessarily their full time job or their only job. And remember, a lot of these businesses, no, all of these businesses are expandable. So if you own one car wash and it's bringing you 30K, well, when you've had enough money, you can invest in another one, have multiple. When you can think of things as a broader aspect, start small, but you can expand it. And so does anybody have any further questions, any further comments that they didn't get to say? Or is anybody wanting to change the decision now that I've said a little bit more? No? Everybody good? Okay. So our next part of this will be um in games. So I'll be moving back to Mr. Omani to basically explain it to us. And if anybody has any questions, I'll be looking at the chat and answering you myself.
All right then. Thank you. Thank you for taking that first part of the session. And I trust that was a run through of the session from the last session that we had, as well as the uh, the workbook that we all got and we took home the last time. So thank you. For some of us would have worked on the workbook prior to class. Hopefully we did for those who were there physically last week and you were given a copy of that workbook to take home. Go over it again, read through the contents, okay, and try to make some decisions. Think about what works and what doesn't particularly work for you. So for this next session, we're going to be playing a kind of game. All right, for this game, what we'll be doing is you will see a picture of someone on screen. All right, a picture of somebody will show up on screen, and you have to tell us, any one of us, you can speak, you can raise your hands, okay, and I can call on someone as well. And you tell us who the person is, how the person made their money, all right? But there might be a surprise to this. There might be something you thought was how the person made the money, but maybe not. Okay, so you see, it says how rich people actually got rich. Think you know? The truth might surprise you. All right, so who's excited to guess the millionaires and billionaires on this list? And who thinks they have everything they need to actually identify how these people made their monies? Okay, I can see some claps right there. Thank you. Thank you for the encouragement. Again, for this, you can unmute and speak. You can raise your hands so that we keep it interesting, exciting, and interactive. So I'll get started. Okay, again, how do we play? Look at the picture. Take a guess how they made their money. All right. And then we'll see after that how they really made their money. Ready to go? 1, 2, 3. All right. So this is the different types, and let's get started. Who's this person?
Elon
David, please
Musk.
go ahead.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Everybody knows that face. Elon Musk. So how did he make his money? Someone tell us.
Tesla.
Tesla? Okay. Tesla. Anyone else?
NASA.
NASA? Okay. Anyone else?
Amazon.
David?
Twitter.
Amazon?
So Elon Musk got rich. SpaceX.
SpaceX. Okay. Anyone
Stock
else?
market.
Twitter.
Nathan, what did you say?
Twitter. The social platform.
Okay. Toluani,
Stock
you said
market.
something as well?
And
Stock market.
Stock market.
All right. So let's have a reveal.
PayPal.
PayPal. Yeah, good answers. Okay. So Elon Musk, tech and innovation titan, was his net worth? 230 billion. All right. What everyone thinks. Cool electric cars, Tesla. The real secrets. Stock options from being CEO of SpaceX. Someone said that. He got a lot of government contracts. All right. And then there is something called EV credits that he made a lot of money on. So 15% of his wealth comes from Tesla. 85% of his wealth comes from all those other sources. And that's about $195 billion of his wealth comes from that. All right. Thanks to everyone who contributed to that. Let's see who the next person is. And I'd like as many of us as possible to contribute as well. So let's go to the next one. Who is the next millionaire, billionaire that we're looking at? Who's this?
Jeff
Jeff
Bezos.
Bezos.
Jeff Bezos.
Jeff
What's his net
Bezos.
worth? Does anybody know? Anyone?
More than $100.
100 billion, you mean? Not $100.
Maybe like maybe 220 billion.
220 billion. Anyone else?
253 billion.
253 billion. So let's have a reveal. So how did he make his
It
money?
is
Amazon.
250.
Amazon.
Amazon?
NASA, I think.
Okay. Let's see. Any other thoughts?
Not really. No thoughts in this head.
Okay, let's see. Was his net worth? Well, it could be higher now, but about 170 billion. 10% of that comes from selling books online or selling products online, Amazon. But most of his wealth, 90% of it, comes from AWS, running servers that power most of the internet. That is cloud. All right, so a lot of his money comes from the cloud space, not Amazon. Amazon was a springboard for him. Thank you all again for the contribution. Let's see who the next person is. Who's this?
Jackie
Anyone?
Chan.
Jackie Chan.
Jack.
Oh no.
Jack.
Anyone?
I
Jackie
don't
Chan.
remember his name, but I think that's the CEO of Nvidia.
Jack and Chud or something.
Yes, that's actually the CEO of NVIDIA. Yeah, Toby, there, you're correct. That's the CEO of NVIDIA. Does anybody know how he makes his money or made his money?
The company he's CEO of.
The company is CEO of, obviously. All right, so let's do the reveal. His name is Jensen Huang. All right. Yeah, NVIDIA, they make game GPUs and video game cards. All right. So, what's his net worth? About 95 billion. These are conservative estimates. All right. And where did the money, the big buck, really come from? AI chips that powers ChatGPT. Well, AI chips that power ChatGPT. AI chips that power self-driving cars, and practically everything we're seeing in the AI world right now. He saw it coming, he was ready for it before anyone else, and it took that space. All right, next one. It's going to get more interesting. And who's this?
Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast.
Everybody knows Mr. Beast. Everybody does know Mr. Beast. How did he make his money? Someone tell me.
I actually don't know.
Companies like
YouTube.
candy companies, I guess, or videos.
Makela, you wanted to say something?
YouTube.
YouTube.
Mr.
Anyone else?
Beast got rich by
What about-
reinvesting YouTube and rent views.
Okay.
Shock.
All right, let's do the reveal. Boom. Mr. Beast, about 700 million. What you think? YouTube views and ad money. What's the plot twist? He basically reinvests everything he makes from YouTube back into making YouTube videos. But in the background, he's building actual businesses. So he has this Beast chocolates business that he's actually running, and that is actually making him a lot of money, far beyond what he's making on YouTube. So you can see 70% of his wealth comes from other stuff, whereas 30% is what comes from YouTube as we know it. Interesting, right? Did that surprise anyone?
A little bit.
A little bit. Thank you. All right, let's go to the next one. Who's this?
Rihanna.
Ariana.
Oh, everybody. Okay. How did she or does she make her money?
Fenty hair, Fenty beauty. There's a lot others, but yeah.
Music videos.
Okay. I'll give that to Isabella because what you think, music and being a pop icon, 10% of the wealth, 90% of the wealth, 1.5 billion, comes from Fenty Beauty. She literally changed the game by making makeup for everyone, not just for some people. So she took the money from here and invested it here. Interesting, right?
No more albums.
So, is that a question? Okay, no, that's a background conversation. All right, so next one. Who's this?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. How did she make her money?
Music.
Music.
Movie.
Okay. Movies. All right, let's see if we got that right. All right. What you guess? Selling out stadium, music, as I said. But what did she do? She got the rights to all of our music. Okay? She re-recorded all of our old albums so she can have them completely. So ownership of our albums was where most of our money came from. We'll take a look at some of these individuals later on, just a little bit in depth, just to understand the mindset they have about business and their primary activities. Next one, who's this?
Michael Jordan.
Kelly.
Stock.
Spark.
Yo.
Okay,
Solayama.
let's keep guessing. Someone said it but wasn't clear.
Michael Jordan.
Who's this?
It's Michael
Yeah,
Jordan.
that's Michael Jordan. Oh, I revealed already. I didn't ask the question. How did he make his money? A lot of us will
Basketball.
think basketball, but that's just 5% of his money.
His shoes.
That's shoes.
Exactly.
Advertisement.
Exactly. You guys are getting it now. His sneaker brands pay him way more than his entire NBA career. Every pair of Jordan sold equals more money in his pocket forever. How many of us would like to have that? Anyone?
Me.
Anyone? You? Okay. Again, let's keep the chat going. Let's put our comments, our likes, our suggestions, our thoughts in the chat as well as we proceed with this. There's still more to go. So let's see. Who's the next person? Who's this?
LeBron James.
My goat.
Okay, seems
Amen.
like there are a lot of us like LeBron. So how did he make his money?
He plays for the Lakers.
Plays for the
Basketball.
Lakers.
His shoes.
Basketball.
Shoes.
Shoes. Okay.
Advertisements.
Advertisement. Let's see. 30% comes from NBA contracts. 70% comes from owning other businesses. Blaze Pizza, part owner of Liverpool FC, and Spring Hill Company. So 840 million comes from what we don't necessarily see. 30%, which is 360 million, comes from NBA. Next, who's this?
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett. How did he make his money?
Albert.
From stocks.
Stocks. Anyone else? All right, let's click to reveal. Yes, he makes most of his money, or he made a lot of his money from picking winning stocks. But then, how did that help, really? The patience game. Letting money make money. 99% of his wealth came after he turned 50. And he used time to his advantage. All right, next one. Who's this? Anyone? Anyone? Anybody? All right, let's see who this is. This is Bernard Arnault. Okay? This is the Louis Vuitton, Dior, Fendi owner. All right, so when you see all of those brands, it's actually owned by one single organization, or at least a group. Okay, how do you think he made his money? From fashion, and yes, but by diversification. So when you're buying a Louis Vuitton and you're saying, no, I prefer Fendi to Dior, I prefer Dior to Louis Vuitton, you're actually shopping from the same shop, same person. All right? And that way, they're able to charge a lot. Okay, because a lot of people want to pay for premium products. All right, next one. Who's this? Looks like an ancient of days, right?
Rockefeller.
Rockefeller. And that is correct. How did he make his money?
From owning oil companies in the United States, but back in the days.
Yep, that's correct. But what's the secret? Rockefeller, 400 billion, just selling oil. Everyone thinks 30% of his wealth, but then also controlling every aspect of the business, owning every aspect of the business. So he wasn't necessarily paying others, right, to ensure that his business continues. So that's how he made a lot of his money. Next, who's this? Probably we all don't know. Anyone? Should we skip since we don't know? Let's skip. Who's this?
Mark Zuckerberg, I think. You
Okay.
can see it on his what's it called? His
How did he make his money? Anyone?
I think he started Apple, or he started a technology brand. That's all I know.
A technology brand. Anyone else? Talia, do you know?
Is that Mark Zuckerberg?
Yes, it's Mark
Did he
Zuckerberg.
start Facebook or
Okay,
Twitter?
he started Facebook. That's correct. It's Facebook that he started. All right. So let's see. Creating Facebook in his dorm room, that's what most people see, which is about 25% of his wealth. But then the secret is not just Facebook itself, it's all of that data that they collect and sell to other businesses, as well as buying up Instagram and WhatsApp. So, okay, so Toluani is talking about the one we skipped, and which is correct, Madam CJ Walker. Okay, she actually came up with many hair products. All right, thumbs up for Toluani for catching that particular one. Good job there. All right, next one. Who's this? So Toluani has got 2 claps. Nice. Who's this? Anyone? Anyone? Going. How many of us have heard of Ethereum? Do you know Ethereum?
Oh, the
oh,
crypto.
that's like
The
cryptocurrency.
Yes, Vitalik Buterin. All right, people thought, oh, from cryptocurrencies, but he actually built Ethereum. And not only did he build Ethereum, he built Ethereum in such a way that everyone who uses the platform needs to pay him. So it's worth about $1.5 billion right now. Let's keep going. We're trying to make it quick so that we can get to this. And who's this? Anyone? Anybody? How many of us have ever used Canva?
I think I've
Have you
used
ever
it
used?
twice for like a school project.
Okay, if you've ever used Canva, all right, that's Melanie Perkins. She built Canva so that everybody could do designs like a professional. Okay, and let's keep moving. And who's this?
Bill Gates.
Let's say boldly. Anyone?
Who's this guy?
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates.
Oh,
Is
Bill
that
Gates.
correct?
Yes, Bill Gates.
Bill Gates. Okay. How did he
Bill
make
Gates.
his money?
From he started Microsoft.
Microsoft. Okay. Any other thoughts? All right. Let's do the reveal. Yep. And that's Bill Gates, 130 billion. About 20% of that comes from Microsoft and Windows. But it took the money from Microsoft and Windows and invested it everywhere else. Stocks, companies, real estate. Bill Gates is currently the largest individual farmland owner in the US. Okay? Which he uses several different firms. One of them is the Cascade, which does get him a lot of money. All right, next one. Who's this? Do we know? Anyone? Okay. That is the CEO of Netflix. You guys probably don't know him at all, but I'm sure everyone here has watched Netflix. Okay? So obviously that's where he makes his money from. And not only that, they also ensured at some point Netflix was paying other companies rights to use their movies, and then they started recording theirs. which was where they made tons of their money eventually. All right, cool. Let's keep going. And who's this?
Is this Ryan Reynolds? Ryan Reynolds.
Deadpool.
Anyone else? Ryan Reynolds. How did he make his money? How does he make his money?
He's an actor.
He's an actor. He's an actor.
He plays for Deadpool in
Okay.
Marvel.
Okay, he acts Deadpool in Marvel, right? So how does he make his money? That's what we see. We see him being a movie star, all right? Deadpool. But you know what he did? He realized that, I get money once from movies. How can I multiply that money? So he buys into other companies, appears in the ads to make people like the company, and then he sells them off for millions of dollars. So, using his face and his popularity from the Deadpool franchise to actually buy other businesses and then make a lot of money. Smart move, don't you think? So far, can anyone tell us what they think? So far, who has made the smartest move of all of them? Or which one do you like the most? Let's talk.
I mean, I noticed that all of them made, like a lot of them made their money from investing into other companies before they like popped off.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that feedback. Very important. Anyone else? I'll call on someone. Michael, can you share with us what's your thoughts so far? All of these folks we've seen.
Wait.
Michael? Okay. I'll call out someone. Joseph, can you tell us?
Did you call me?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I was saying which one has jumped out to you the most?
I'll say from all of them, they all use like what they had as an advantage to start from somewhere.
Exactly, correct. Sorry, who is CCIHSSCA?
Sorry, it's me. We're trying to switch Michael to
All
another thing. Michael is here now. Michael, respond.
So what was the question?
Okay. Yeah, I said so far, from all the people we've done the reveal on, which one jumps out and which one is, as in, do you think was the smartest move?
For me, I think it was Mr. Beast because basically he started from almost nothing, just from YouTube videos, and he made like smart decisions from the start by investing all his revenue into like companies, and that's really what like expanded his wealth. That's that to me.
Awesome. Thank you. That's awesome. All right, let's keep going. We'll do a few more. There are quite a number of them, but we'll do just a few more. And then we'll now talk in a little detail about each one of, say, a few of them. All right, next one. And who's this? Anyone?
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z. Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
Who got that? Sola got that. Oh, someone said Jay-Z first. Was that Isabella?
I think so.
Okay. So how did he make his money?
I think he raps.
He raps. Okay, sure. Guys,
Music.
what else? Music. Okay. Anyone else? Any thoughts?
His recording label.
His recording label. So let's see. How does he make his money? Okay, people think, yeah, music. But that's just 15%. All right, this guy puts money in so many other things. He buys stuff, companies, from champagne brands to Uber stock to hats worth millions. Music got him famous. Ownership made him rich. Next one. Who's this?
Ashton Kutcher.
Yep, correct. That's Ashton Kutcher. Since only one person said, let's just do the reveal. Okay? He acts in movies, but he's also a tech investor genius. He invested early in Uber, Airbnb, and Spotify before anybody knew them. He turned his Hollywood cash into massive tech wealth. Who's this? Nobody?
Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez.
Yes, correct. How did she make money?
She
She
owns Rare
sings.
Beauty,
Yeah,
She
her
owns
a
makeup
what?
beauty
brand.
Makeup
beauty
brands.
brand, a makeup brand.
Exactly. So, pop star and Disney shows, but she has a beauty brand that brings in tons of money. And she made her brand about mental health. So people had something to be associated with. Okay, not just another brand, but you can see 80% comes from the real secrets. Next, who's this?
Abby Lane.
Bobby Lane.
Abdullah. How did he make his money?
YouTube. No, TikTok. Sorry.
TikTok?
TikTok.
What's the secret to his TikTok?
He puts out his
Comedy?
acts like he doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Comedy.
let's do the reveal. 80 million. Now, this is old. This past week, he just sold a big part of his business for $700 million. Actually, $900 million. Okay, so what do we know him for? Going viral on TikTok. But he worked with global brands for partnerships and all of those collaborations. Now, because it doesn't say any word, right? All of the brands don't need to interpret into different languages. His face tells the story. His action, the way he behaves, tells the story. So, no words needed. Everyone gets it worldwide. So, he used his brand to work with. He used his TikTok viral status to work with several brands to make millions all over the world. Who's this?
Dolly
Anyone?
Parton. Wait, Dolly
Dolly
Parton.
Parton. Correct. Okay, we'll keep moving. And who's this?
Kim Kardashian.
How does she make money? Did she make money? All right, let's do the reveal quickly. Famous on reality TV, but she was smart. She built a business on shapewear that everybody wants instead of just posting selfies. And that's like 85% of our wealth. All right, and who's this?
Shaq.
Yeah.
O'Neal. Shaq O'Neal.
Shaq O'Neal. How did he make his money? Very
Playing
interesting.
basketball for the Lakers.
Playing basketball.
Didn't he
Okay.
like start his own business in like Walmart? Like his shoe business?
Okay, so let's see.
Sponsoring company.
We thought it was basketball, but the guy took the money from basketball and he currently owns 155 Five Guys restaurants, 40 gyms, 150 car washes, and a lot more. He buys boring businesses that sort of prints money. So our car wash shows up here again, right? Remember from our workbook. All right, let's keep going. I know this. I know this will blow up. The guys will know this. How did he make his money? How
He
does he
plays
make his
soccer.
money? Soccer. Is that the truth? Let's see. All right. Everybody thinks best soccer, but he built a personal brand with over 600 million followers. He owns hotels, gyms, hair clinics, and gets paid millions for every Instagram post. He's basically an influencer who happens to play soccer. I like that. Okay? He's an influencer who plays soccer. Who's this? Anyone?
Serena Williams.
Serena Williams.
Serena Williams.
Serena Williams.
Serena
How did she
Williams.
make money?
Tennis?
Tennis.
She also owns a
Tennis.
beauty brand.
So, tennis is what we think, but she has Serena Ventures. She's a venture capitalist investing in other people's dreams. So she finds startups, backs them up, and when those people make money, she makes money as well. All right, and who's this?
Does he play golf?
I think so.
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods. How does he make his money? All right,
Golf.
we think golf, but he has deals with Nike, video games, and getting paid millions to design golf courses with his names on it.
I'm sorry, he's a little frozen.
Who's
Give us a
this?
second. Yeah, he's back.
Connie McGregor.
No, we've passed him. This is the current one.
McGregor.
Magic
Who's
Johnson.
this? Magic Johnson. Well, let's keep going. Who's this? All right, let's keep going since we don't know. Who's this? Somebody tell me you know.
TikTok.
You've used this guy's product. Exactly. TikTok. All right. TikTok. And we probably don't know this one. So let's keep moving. Taking some time to load. Who's this? We don't know. All right. So let's keep going. But someone who had invested in Twitter. Who's this? We don't know, so let's keep going. Who's this? Somebody tell me you know. Anybody? Have you guys heard of Shopify?
Is that like an AI dropshipping app or something?
Okay, since we don't know Shopify that much, let's keep going. Toluwane, I was thinking you will know this person for obvious
Shopify?
reasons.
I don't know who he is.
Okay. Let's see. Who's this?
Queen Elizabeth.
No. This is Estee Lauder. Okay. If we don't know her, let's keep going. So, what did we just look through? That was a lot of them, right? Interestingly, we just went through like 40 different billionaires. But what's it we just learned? Can someone make comments based on what you can see on screen? What did we just pick from any one of them?
But we learned that like different people can make money in different ways, and like
Okay.
how like making money isn't only just one path.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, Michael. Anyone else?
A lot of money is made through smart investments rather than what makes people famous.
Exactly. Smart investments rather than what we think generally. Anyone else?
They are not satisfied with their money.
Okay. So they're always pushing for more. Anyone else?
Most of the money are from just companies.
Sorry, say that again.
Most of the money are just from companies.
Companies,
Like
but ownership of the companies, right? Okay, awesome. So what we just learned, own it, don't just work it. The rich own stuff, companies, brands, content, instead of just getting paid hourly. Build something that's yours. Build systems that work even when you're not there. Get known and get seen. Not just have talents, okay? But use that talent to improve yourself. And finally, start now, win later. All right? Start early. Start as soon as possible. So, again, we've gone through some of those people quickly. Okay? Let's just pick maybe 2 or 3 of them and actually see a little more detail about them. okay, what they did, how they made whatever they made, and let's see how they played their game. Okay, so this is 12 stories, but we're not going to go through all those 12. But let's see what this tells us. Anything you're doing, get ownership, be part of the business, which is just what we're discussing. Don't just work for money. Own a piece of what you help to build. And the bigger the piece grows, the bigger you also grow. So people like who? Ryan Reynolds. Okay, we said it earlier. Famous for Deadpool, but he realized acting only pays you once per movie. So he started his own marketing company and used it to become a part owner of other businesses. He didn't just star in the ads, he owned part of the companies. Aviation Gene, Mint Mobile, and you can see how much he sold each of these businesses for. So what do you learn from this? Use your skill to own part of a business and not just get paid once. When you own something, you keep making money even when you are not working. All right, next one, we'll just pick randomly from each group. Popular ones, Rihanna. Okay, Rihanna stopped making albums. Why? She figured selling a $30 lipstick makes her way more money than selling a $15 song. So she started her home makeup brand, Fenty, and Savage X Fenty. 80% of her money comes from her brand, not from music. What do we learn from this? Use your skills to get attention, then sell products you own. All right, Mr. Beast puts money back in. YouTube star who spends all his money to make more money. He spends millions on every video. Instead of keeping the money, he puts it all back in to make even bigger video. He uses YouTube to get fans, then sells them chocolates, Fastables, and burgers. His chocolate brand made over 10 million in just a few months. His whole business is worth 1.5 billion. What do? Don't spend all your money. Put it back in what you're building. The more you invest in yourself, the harder you are to beat. All right, let's keep going. Shaquille, we spoke about this earlier. When he first made his first million, he blew it in 30 minutes. Then he learned about money. He realized he didn't need to create new businesses. He needs to buy businesses that already made money. It's like buying a recipe that people already love instead of trying to invent a new dish. So we saw all the businesses he owned earlier. So you don't need to always invent something new. Buy a business recipe that works and then keep going. Michael Jordan, we spoke about that. LeBron James, we spoke about that. And then this category. So this is the Shopify guy. This is the one Tolu was talking about, Madam C.J. Walker. All right. She was born right after slavery ended. She had hair problems, so she made a product to fix it. Instead of selling it herself, she taught other women how to sell for her. And then she became the first self-made female millionaire. If you do all the work alone, it's just a job. If you get people to help you, it's a business that can grow. All right, and the final one here, the 4 money rules. So can someone read the money rules and tell me something about what you've seen from any one of them? So the money rules are on screen, but you can read them out and tell us what you think about it. Anyone can go. I'll call someone. Sophia, can you read one and tell us what you think about that?
Thank you, sir. Own part of a business, not just work for it. And
Yeah, so what do
actually
you think about that? Yeah, go on.
I think it's definitely important because it's a way of investing in your future. So when you own part of your business, when it multiplies, you also receive the multiplied like harvests in the future. So
All right, thank you. Someone else? Ollie, can you tell us one of the points, not the one that's been read already, another rule, and what you think about it?
Get paid over and over, not just once.
Okay.
I
All right.
think that it's important to try inventing something that won't just like make you what's the right word? Like it'll continue to make you money over the years and not just something that will like blow up and then if it dies like you don't continue getting money. Probably something that will continue making you money for a while rather than something that only makes you money temporarily.
All right. Thank you very much. Talia, speak to us. Talia, can you hear us? All right, I'll go on to someone else. Excuse me. Sola, can you tell us something? Sola, can you read one of the rules and tell us what you think about it?
Turn your followers into products you sell.
Okay. So what do you think about that? Just tell us your thoughts about it, or maybe an idea that came to you.
I think it's a good thing. So you can like, if you have like a really big follower on TikTok, you can like show them your businesses and your brand so they can buy it because they like you. So like they'll follow you so they'll buy it and you'll get more money.
Okay, awesome. So you're monetizing your popularity. All right, finally, who wants to give us the last one? Anybody can go. Toby, do you want to?
I think build tools that others use. Is that the last one?
Yeah, that's the last one. Yeah, so tell us, what do you think about that?
I think yes, like having like a product that other people can use, and once it's created, you don't have to create it again, and it can make money for you over and over again.
All right, thank you so much. So we'll come back to this page, okay? But I'd like us to watch this video just to let us know it's never too early to start. All right, start thinking from now. Start planning from now. But let's watch this. I'm sure this should inspire us a little. Okay?
Welcome to my crib. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rennie. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to watch this video. If you're new here, I'm Rennie, as I said, and I do fashion, finance, and lifestyle, and much more. So stay tuned and make sure you subscribe to be notified every time that I post a video. So today I'm going to do a video about buying my first house at the age of 23.
So can we all hear the audio?
Yeah, I could hear it.
All right, cool. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah, so when I was 23 and I'm just about to turn 24, I'm a month away from turning 24, I purchased my first house. And this is a rental property, just want to preface with that. I'm not living in the house, but I purchased this house about a week after I turned 23, and I get a lot of questions about it, like how did you do it, why did you do it, when did you decide to do this? So I'm going to do a story time about how I came to the decision to buy my first rental property and how I went about it. So the first thing that I want to say is big shout outs to my parents for teaching me financial literacy from the time I was very young. My dad always says he's trading my sister and I to be millionaires. And honestly, like he's really done a great job, and so has my mom. Big shout out to them. So I'm also gonna say that my parents allow me to live rent-free in their house during this time. So I know this may not be feasible for everyone because you may have rent to pay for, but I only have expenses such as my car, my travel, my entertainment, and those sort of small little items, which I can definitely scale back on if I want to. So that's one of the things that aided me in purchasing this house at such a young age. So let's start from the beginning. How did I actually purchase my first house? So the way I did it was by religiously saving and investing my money. Ever since I was a child, I have been saving 50% of every increase that has been given to me. So as if an uncle came over to the house and gave me $100,
do the things we want to do.
My parents ensured that 50% of that, so $50 would go into my bank account to be saved. And then once I turned 18, they ensured that that $50 was not just saved, but that it was also put into an investment account. So basically, ever since I was a child and once I turned 18, I've been investing my money. This has allowed my money to grow exponentially, and I know that I would have spent all of the money that I used to buy this house if my parents did not make me save it or invest it. So even when I was working a minimum wage job, I used to work at a shoe store and I was making maybe, I think, $10 an hour. I was still investing and saving 50% of that money. This became such a habit, and I was very disciplined at it, that when I got my first internship and I was making more money than I had ever made in my life, saving 50% didn't seem like a lot because I was so used to living on half of whatever I earned. So I started that at age 18. Once I had saved up a few tens of thousands of dollars and through my investments, I decided, my parents sat me down and said, what are you going to do with this money? And I was like, I'm okay with just stacking it. Like, I like seeing these number signs and these dollars in my bank account.
Yeah, man. Whole lot of rest, man. Whole lot.
And my parents were like, no, you need to do something with this money. Like, your money needs to make more money, basically. So that's what I did. We decided that, okay, maybe we should look into a rental property. So when I was deciding to get a rental property, I decided to do a lot of research because I'm that type of person who wants to know what I'm getting into before I actually get into it. So I actually went to the bank first and got a pre-approval. So I told them how much I currently make. I told them what the desired price range for my house will be, and then they gave me a pre-approval. So they told me, okay, if you make this much money at the time you're buying a house, and if you are looking to buy a house of this value, and you're putting down 10% on your house, we can afford to loan you X amount of money. So I knew that, okay, my purchase price for this house that I'm looking for has to be within this range. So say it's $300,000 and say they're going to give me $200,000. I need to make sure that I save up $100,000. So this does not affect your credit at all. It's literally just them jotting some notes on a piece of paper and making some calculations and saying, okay, so if you make this amount and you're putting on this much as your down payment, we can afford to give you X amount of dollars. And now I know I have that number in my mind, and I know that when I go out shopping for houses, I know what I can afford and what I definitely cannot afford. With this number that they gave me, I had a swift realization that I could not afford to purchase a house in the Greater Toronto Area, the GTA. There was no way, except for maybe outside like Guelph or Milton, but in the center of the GTA, such as Mississauga, Toronto, Brampton, Oakville, there was literally no way that I could afford to purchase a house. And it honestly wouldn't really make sense, as I'm not living there, it's just a rental property. So after I got my pre-approval and I realized where I can purchase the house, my parents and I found a realtor. I personally connected with this realtor because he was knowledgeable about houses outside of the GTA. Some realtors are only knowledgeable about the certain area they live in, but he actually lived outside of the GTA, so he was knowledgeable about areas such as London, Kitchener, Waterloo, Guelph. He was knowledgeable about all those areas, so that was a great asset that I had with him. So the first thing that we did was I told him all the criteria that I'm looking for in a house. So I told him, okay, I'm looking for a house that costs X number of dollars or no more than this amount. It has to be this old. It has to have this number of rooms. The rental income each month has to equal about this much. And I gave him all those criteria, and he found me houses within my criteria. So using a system called Matrix, he would send me different postings. And honestly, this process was overwhelming. I would get maybe 10 posts a day of different houses that met my criteria. I think it's an automated system, so he's not actually clicking each one and sending it to me, but I got about 10 houses a day, and looking through them was like, I was just looking at these things like I have no idea what I'm supposed to look for. It's just a bunch of details about a house that doesn't really make sense to me. So we actually decided to go visit some of these houses. Explain to me, okay, when it says it has central heating, that's what it means. When it says it has these kind of baseboards, this is what it means. Personally, I didn't know any of these things before, so it was very helpful to have a knowledgeable realtor who would sit down with me and explain all these things to me. But yeah, there are lots of things you have to look for when you're actually purchasing a house that I personally would not have known. Honestly, I fell in love with so many houses while we were looking, and my parents would be like, what? Like, don't you see XYZ is wrong with it? And I was like, oh, okay. GTA investors were coming into London, coming into London, coming into Kitchener, and coming into Waterloo, the places that I was looking, and they were bidding 50 over asking. They were bidding 20 over asking because they see a house, oh, it's only worth 200,000. I can afford to pay 250,000. I can afford to pay 300,000. So they were outbidding me because personally I cannot afford to buy a house for 50 over asking. So this was a good thing and a bad thing because it caused us to basically shift our priorities. So instead of looking at these houses that were already built, instead I was looking at new build. So new build is basically a house that is not built already, and the builder still owns the land and still own the property, and once it closes and once it's finally built, you will actually be able to move in. This could be 1 year down the line, it could be 2 years, it could be 3 years, so it really depends. You have to make sure it works with your timeline. The good thing about a new build is that you don't have to put all your money, your whole down payment down immediately. So if I went to a house that was already built and they said, okay, we want to close in a month, make sure you have your deposit ready and your down payment ready, I would have to say put 50,000, 60,000 down right away within a month. But if on the other hand, if I have a new build, you'd only have to put down, say they ask for 10,000 as a deposit, and then they're gonna close in 2 years, or they're gonna close in 1 year. Then I have a year to save up for the closing costs. So this is something that really helped me because I didn't have enough money saved up at that point to close immediately, but I had a whole year to continue saving up until the builders were actually ready to close. So I purchased in July of 2019 and we didn't close until May of 2020. This was great because obviously I could save for an entire year, almost an entire year. And yeah, that's something that I recommend if you have the opportunity. With the new builds, we decided to look in London, Ontario because it is a city that is growing very quickly. The housing prices are raising every year. So we know that when we buy a house there, the value of it is going to increase exponentially. Just like in the GTA, what happened? It's moving towards London. So we decided to look in London and we decided to research the specific builders. So there are lots of builders. There's like Mattamy, for example, that many of you may know, and they build houses across Ontario, but some have better reputations than others. So the builder that I decided to go with had a great reputation, and they are known for their warranty, their amazing warranty, and their customer service. So we decided to look at some houses that they were building. They actually had 2 different builds that they were doing across London. We looked at a certain area. It was a new area. There was a church around it. There were a few schools.
All right, people. I think we'll cut it short there. All right. So any thoughts from that video? Anybody wants to share what thoughts came to them as they were watching that video? Anyone? Anyone looking to buy their house maybe in the next 1 year?
Like saving money and other stuff.
Okay. Anyone else? Any thoughts?
It's important to train yourself to be financially literate from a young age.
All right. Anybody got inspiration from any of this, from this video particularly, let's say? Was
She
anybody
said
inspired?
that she saved 50% of what she got from parents, family, friends, or like anything in general. I think that's a really good idea for almost anyone at a young or old age.
Awesome. Awesome feedback. Anyone else? Michael, want to add something? Isabella, how about you?
Um, um, I guess I learned like I didn't really know about budgeting for houses. Like I just thought like, oh, you just have like this amount of money and you can just use it for whatever you need like in your house instead of putting aside specific money you just used like whatever money you have, but I realized that it's better just to set aside money to spend instead of just spending it all in one go.
Awesome. Temi, something you want to share? Something that came to mind as we were watching this?
Something that came to mind was that she mentioned how she saved from a young age. So that saving is a very important part in building like your wealth.
Thank you. David, Darius?
Nothing here.
Okay. All right. So, what's the summary of all we've been talking about since last week? We can summarize all of that from, one second, please, from here. Step one, there is a need to have a shift in perspective. Setting goals, smart money habits. Number two, start earning and saving. A gig there, a side hustle there, a skill you have, use that to make money. Obviously, with your parents' approval. All right. Number three, grow your income streams. Passive income, investing, watch it grow, let it compound, sell digital products, do ads. You've got a skill, use it to make some money, and then build a money system. Something where you can use your money that you've earned in other places to make other investments and to grow your money. Set up automatic savings if necessary. Find good investment apps. Just like Rennie said, our parents helped her. Don't do it alone. Work with your parents, let them help you set up the right structure, and then with time, you'll find out that you've actually achieved what people describe as financial freedom early on. Hope that taught us a few things. The slides from our presentation today will be available on the website after next week. All right. And the site is moneygrooves.org. You can see the site here, moneygrooves.org, where most of us registered on. And you will be able to find the slides from last week, all the chat, all the talks. You'll find it under resources. You'll find videos from our session, recording of the various sessions will also be uploaded here, and you'll be able to reference all of those eventually. So visit the sites, follow the accounts on Instagram. So Femi, please go ahead with that.
Okay, so if you visit the site, you should be able to get access to the Instagram, the TikTok for this program. We'd really appreciate it if you'd follow and share and post, because as this is a sponsored event, the Canada Corp and Africa Center will see that you guys participated, that you liked it, and they'll continue to sponsor events like this where they teach people from different communities, different aspects, and host activities that people can enjoy. It's a really good opportunity, and you posting about it helps support this event and others. I'd also like to thank you all again for joining me today. Thank you for responding to our invitation, and I hope you all learned something. If anybody has any questions or comments, let's take those now before I do the full closing.
All right, there is also a feedback form that has been posted into the chat. Please would like for all of you to fill that. And let's, for those who are in Calgary, the final session, all right, happens next Saturday at 2 p.m. It's an in-person session. There'll be fun games as usual, just as you can see on screen at the moment. There'll be food, there'll be drinks, all right? And for that session, we'll be bringing in career folks to come talk to us, professionals to come talk to us about how to shape our career as well. We've talked about money, investing, but then there is a lot to growing our career. So we're going to have an awesome session also next week, and we look forward to having you there. But please ensure that you fill the form that has been posted in the chats, follow on social media. All the social media handle on TikTok and on Instagram is MoneyGroove AD. So I'm putting that in there, MoneyGrooves AB, both on TikTok and on Instagram. Anyone have questions or feedback, or you just want to make a comment about the session we've had today? Please go ahead. The mic is yours. Anyone? Okay. Is someone speaking?
I don't believe so. I think it's back to me now since nobody has questions.
All right. So Femi, please proceed.
Okay, he's already said it. We have a feedback form for you guys to fill out, so that you can tell us how we did and give suggestions for the last session, which is coming up next Friday for those in Calgary.
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday. We'd love for you to attend, and for those outside of Calgary, I believe there'll be a link for you to watch it online. Thank you all again for joining me. And before we go, I just have a quick acknowledgement that we have to do since this is a sponsored event. We acknowledge the support of the Africa Center and the Canadian Service Corps for making the Black Youth Leadership Program possible. And thank you all of you once again for joining me. I hope you have a great week, and I hope to see you next week.
Thank you all, and have a good evening, and regards to your parents as well. Take care.
Okay, bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please fill the form. We have 3 responses. Everyone else